everything out. There we go. Unpause. Great stuff. Okay, so we are here with the Polaris BO9 between Robert Stinson and RFRBT, aka TaToH and MbL. The score is currently 3-all as we enter game number 7 here, which is going to be played on Arabia. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. I like Arabia, and we've not actually seen a very standard map so far this event. And you know, like, normally on Arabia, sorry, not on Arabia, on these kind of tournaments, you see a lot of standard maps. And Migration doesn't really count as a standard map. I know it's part of the base map pool of the game, but I don't count it as a standard map, simply because it just doesn't have the standard resources. It's not played like any other map. It's very unique. So this game is on Arabia, obviously, and as you can see by the APM there, Robert Stinson nearly up to 60, or hovering around 50 at the moment, which is pretty much standard. Like, this map is the fast map. This is the map that the faster players practice on. This is the map that most players are the most comfortable on, who play Arabia Hun Wars all day anyway. And players tend to be pretty fast and rapid and very comfortable on this map, hence why they do tend to be a little faster. Now, the players are actually playing as different civs. MbL, down to the south in the teal, is playing as the Huns, and up to the north in the purple, TaToH is playing as the Mayans. Once again, non-mirror, and I like that a lot. Obviously, this is hidden civilizations for this tournament, which means that you could choose any civ you like, but your opponent will not know what civ you've chosen until you get into the game. And that's kind of cool. That means that, obviously, players can kind of catch their opponents off guard. And at the start there, MbL was disappointed because TaToH didn't choose the Huns, and these guys love their Hun Wars, obviously. But TaToH breaking the meta once again, I guess, and throwing out the Mayans there. Not exactly an unusual civilization for Arabia. Mayans and Aztecs are up there with you know, the best civs in the game for Arabia 1v1s, as well as kind of Goths as well, perhaps surprisingly. But yeah, should be a good, interesting game. I feel like the Mayans sometimes have a little bit of an advantage depending on how it plays out and depending on the map. So we'll have a look at their maps and see what they've actually got to play with here. And well, at the top for TaToH, his map's not too bad. He could wall this right side pretty comfortably if he wants to. And I mean, these two tree lines, although they're kind of on the front of his base, they kind of form a natural funnel into it. Like, a really small wall across here would be easily done. And I mean, that's pretty much the front of his base secure. The left side, however, he does have a gold pile up here, and that's going to be really of importance to him. It is a little bit exposed. Like, there's no easy way for him to wall that off. The way that this tree line comes down here means that he would have to wall all the way across to the edge of the map. It's a really long distance. He's not really got many other options there. So taking this gold could be a little bit of a ball ache, but at least it's on the top of a hill, and that's better than it being at the bottom, since you can defend it easier from the top. But maybe we'll see a tower coming out here. Depends on how he walls it, if he walls it at all. Depends if he plays really aggressively and he doesn't even need to play a defensive game. But later on, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a TC on the hill or something like that. For MbL, his berries are on the front. That's kind of a big deal, because you kind of want your berries to be in a nice place when you've got, whoa, a lot of action going on down here. TaToH perhaps trying to steal a boar there. MbL having none of it. Almost killing the Eagle Warrior with his TC as it happened as well. Fantastic. So yeah, this berry patch on the front, kind of annoying when you get a drush coming in. Obviously, if you see a drush coming in, you're going to be forced away from your berries, and the drush is going to try and go for the berries as one of the first places it will go to, and then probably to the wood line. But in this situation, berries right out on the front, very open, kind of difficult to defend that. And in fact, looking at MbL's base, the front of his base is really very open. There's nothing inside. We look at like this, you can't see a single tree, apart from these two little stragglers. No defenses in that area at all. Now, he has got a backwood, which is really nice. Usually, you don't get a backwood, and having a backwood is always a nice thing, especially when it's this close to the TC. And on the left side, he could wall that, I guess, but he's playing as the Huns, so there's no houses to wall it with. Meaning that this gold at the bottom of this hill could become a target for archers later on. Obviously, though, with a mining camp coming up and MbL on the way up to feudal, he's going to be going for some archers, I imagine. Well, actually, you know what? He's gone up on 21 population here, so he might be actually planning on something different, taking just one villager to gold. So archers actually less likely than we might think, because if you're going to do archers, 21 villagers is really cutting it fine. You want 22 or 23, and even 22 is quite difficult. So MbL, in fact, going forwards here, just one villager on gold, a second going over. He's going forwards, though, and that means that we might see a barracks and an archery range coming up on the front. I guess we'll have to wait and see. On the left side, Robert Stinson walling up here. I think that's a good thing to do. He's walled really far out, which means that although it's quite a long wall, he's managed to incorporate some houses in there. He will keep this gold safe. That's going to be really important. Like, keeping that gold safe would be a little bit difficult otherwise. So these three villagers coming forwards as TaToH, Robert Stinson, sends out his drush now. And MbL comes over on this left side with his villagers. The thing is, this wall off is completing pretty quickly. Robert Stinson senses that something's up. He's going to wall that up quickly with this villager. And MbL now going to try and buy some time. Scout attacking downhill. And that scout is about to get +2 attack. But MbL really does not want this wall to be closed off. TaToH, he's got a sense that something's up now, though. And that scout might just die. But I think the villager's going to go down first. It's going to be so close. What's it going to be? The villager. It's the villager. And that means that TaToH's left side is wide open. Meanwhile, TaToH coming straight for those berries on the front. And that is such a nice drushable location. His Eagle warrior getting involved there as well. I keep saying Eagle Scout because that's kind of what I'm used to from Forgotten now. But yeah, on the left side, forward barracks and militia coming out. I like that. I like that a lot. But Robert Stinson going to be quickly walling this up here as he knows something is amiss. These villagers going to show themselves. They're going to try and run around as quickly as possible. Robert Stinson with a house. Oh, and he blocked it. Really well done. These villagers now going to come in and try and stop this wall off, but it's too late. The wall off is happening, and Robert Stinson has put a stop to that very quickly. Really well played, and good lucky timing as well, I guess. So this drush coming through, obviously causing a little bit of idle time, but not killing any villagers or anything major like that. He might find out what's going on. He will get some scouting info, see the two villagers on gold, and obviously he will see the militia on the front. So, I mean, the plan here for MbL was to do militia into man-at-arms. That is clearly not going to be happening too well just yet, but the palisade wall going down pretty quickly, and, well, TaToH needs to protect this gold somehow. Tower going up on this wall as well, so that's going to be attacking the wall, the palisade pretty quickly as well here, and Robert Stinson's just going to try and wall this up before the walls are breached. It's going to be tough. The feudal age upgrade only just coming in now for Robert Stinson, and that's pretty slow in comparison, but bear in mind he has gone up on 32 population. He will be able to do a fast castle off the back of this if he likes. He's got the deer back here. But he might decide that this is too much of a threat to risk fast castling and maybe make some archers behind this instead. That's certainly viable. Meanwhile, the drush in here, taking down these palisade walls slowly but surely. They'll eventually get there, I'm sure. Or they won't, because a repairer can just stop them from getting through. Believe it or not, yes, a repairer can repair a wall faster than 3 men with clubs can bring it down. Who'd have thought it? But yet another wall on this left side, and now a tower going up, and look at that! Look at that. Didn't I say there would be a tower there? Yes, I did. And is there a tower right there? Yes, there is. Right on that hill. It's a fantastic place for it. And, well, MbL's got a real disadvantage attacking uphill here, which sucks. Really sucks. Unfortunately, though, for Robert Stinson, there is a hole. There is always a hole, and you guys know that better than anyone. And, well, MbL gonna kill one of these villagers here, potentially. And gonna rush down the tower as fast as possible. Now, if that hole didn't exist, if that hole wasn't there, that would have been a different story altogether. Robert Stinson would have protected that tower and protected this wall off. Now, at the back of the map, yep, he's still bashing on that palisade, but he is up to feudal now, and he's not putting up an archery range. I think he's going to be stubborn. Oh, sorry, I knocked the mic then. I think he's going to be stubborn. And I think he's going to fast castle anyway. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have the gold for it. But, well, he also doesn't have a blacksmith or a market. But hey, I think putting up an archery range would be the right thing to do here. Either way, Robert Stinson at the moment, massive score lead. 3 villagers in the lead as well. And he's put an end to this aggression rather fantastically, bringing his villagers into fight. And losing just 1, I believe, there. Looking at the KD at the moment, 8 units killed and 2 lost for Robert Stinson. That's really quite good. And he will indeed follow this up with a fast castle. Archery range blacksmith, and the castle age is coming through. So it's not going to be like a fast castle, but it's going to be faster than MbL. And that's all that really matters here. MbL in trouble, I think, because 30 population here. There's no way that he is going to be up to the castle age in a good time now. Clearly getting very aggressive on that left side with man-at-arms upgrade being done, costing quite a bit of food and gold as well. And it paid for nothing. I mean, he, I guess, slowed down the castle time a little bit here due to all the walling that was needed. But ultimately, he didn't get through, and that is a painful thing. Tower coming up on the front for MbL, though. And I like that. That's going to be in a good position. It's certainly going to push these villagers away from the wood, but Robert Stinson's got a nice backwood here. You can easily put 2 lumber camps on this and he'll be set for quite some time. So MbL now knows that Robert Stinson's got up to the castle age. He must know. There's no other way that Robert Stinson would have played this now without MbL seeing some archers already. And he's not seen the archers yet, so he knows that Robert Stinson's fast castling it. Robert Stinson just 1 range, a second range going to come up in a minute, I'm sure. But he's spotted out this tower very quickly, and MbL just wasting resources and wasting time here, as this tower is going to do very little on the front. We got a lumber camp coming up on the back, and Robert Stinson taking a lot of gold expected, because he will need that for a few archers very shortly. Now, this is where it's going to get dicey for MbL. MbL, 0 food. And, well, he's starting to make archers and skirmishers. He has to get some military out here. Otherwise, he's in big trouble. But the problem is, once those crossbows make it out onto the map, into his base, Robert Stinson's going to have a field day killing these villagers. MbL's got no walls, no protection from any flanking maneuver, absolutely nothing. And whilst he's getting aggressive on the front, sometimes you've just got to let it go. But I kind of sense a little bit of desperation here from him. He just has to hit. He just knows in his head he has to hit his economy, Robert Stinson's economy, if he wants to keep himself in this game. He's still investing resources into making skirms and archers. He knows what's coming his way, and that castle age upgrade is just about done at the moment. So, you know, there's another sign as well. Watchtower coming up now. Sorry, Watchtower, what am I about? Town Watch, rather. Understandable how he's got that wrong at first glance. Costing him 100 food. That's again going to slow his castle time down. But he's in. He's putting another tower up. And the castle age upgrade is done. Wheelbarrow coming in straight away. That's an interesting one. I thought he'd prioritize fletching or bodkin arrow first. But actually, I think he's done fletching already. Sorry, I meant crossbow or bodkin arrow. I'm getting really tired, obviously. But crossbow's coming in. And bodkin arrow, well, he's a little bit short. But he can afford bodkin arrow in just a minute. And then he'll get that as well. These archers on the front going to try and stop this watchtower going up. And he's probably not going to succeed. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. MbL's going back. He didn't commit. You got to commit, man. 84%. And he's returning back to the tower now. The crossbows, though, are out. And Robert Stinson is doing exactly the right thing. He's just going straight over to MbL's base, sending out that counterattack, and those crossbows are going to cause him a real headache. Villagers going to die on this stone. At the back, MbL's sticking up a tower to protect his gold and wood, but... Sorry, I said gold and wood, not golden wood. Sounds like his wood might be made of gold, the way I pronounced it, but, yeah... getting really defensive now. A lot of skirmishes coming out, and again, that is going to slow down his castle time even more. So MbL, uphill battle now, and once TaToH decides to get out of Siege Workshop, we could be in for a swift GG. A swift GG even from MbL here. I wouldn't be surprised. So crossbows, just 5 of them. With Bodkin Arrow, that's enough to kill villagers very quickly. And you'll see just a couple of volleys. These villagers are going to go down. There's 1. There's 2. And he's got to clear out. He could come back back here, take wood back here. But MbL seems a little bit stubborn to move his lumber camp. There we go. Finally moving it. Now he's got a few units in on this right side. But TaToH walling up against the back here. Perfect stuff. I mean, he can't get in there. MbL cannot get in there without taking a heap of TC fire. And TaToH completely doing the right thing, prioritizing the siege workshop over the second TC. And in this situation here, TaToH just needs to sit underneath the tower. Unfortunately, the tower filled up pretty quickly, and he's taken a little bit of a beating from that. But again, going to force MbL away from the wood and keep MbL chasing him down. I think he's going to end up losing these crossbows very shortly. But TaToH, gotta say, seems very much in control at the moment. Padded archer armor just being done for MbL as well. This is how committed he is now to the feudal age here. Like, that research costing him yet another 100 food. It's just another one after another. More and more and more food requirement. And he'll get there eventually. He'll eventually reach the castle age. But he's got to keep his military up here. Otherwise, he's going to get absolutely flattened by these crossbows. TaToH then adding in a ram as well. And he really wants to stop these towers here. He wants to put an end to it. This crossbows, or this villager even going to walk straight into the crossbowman. Not a good thing at all. And MbL just doing wheelbarrow. Oh, goodness me. That's quite a late wheelbarrow for him. But that's certainly going to help his farm's efficiency a little bit. 2 rams in there then, and I mean, that's it. I mean, the rams there are going to take down the towers. The crossbows behind this are going to clean up this army, because these units are attacking the rams rather than the crossbows behind this. And so the crossbows just going to start picking these guys off from behind. And MbL going to quickly find out he's got very little left over this side as these final skirmishes get taken down. And the towers fall as well. That forward aggression is being cleared up. On the left side, TaToH trying to hit this stone perhaps once again. He's killed another villager there. But 4 military out for MbL at the moment versus the 12 from TaToH. And the military kill to loss ratio, 35 kills to 17 losses for TaToH here. And it's GG at that point in time. MbL just could not get to the castle age safely. And I mean, still couldn't click up, still just really far behind there. And even though he tried that forward aggression, he just tried to stall, I feel. He tried to stall TaToH as much as possible. Those rams quickly put an end to that. And with that, allowed TaToH to clean up with the crossbows. And I mean, that was pretty much it at that point in time. MbL, I like the way he tried the forward barracks and the men-at-arms, but, I mean, if he didn't attack this left side, it would have been a different story altogether. If he'd attacked on the right, where TaToH wasn't even walling at all, might have got in, but it just so happened he attacked on the left, and, I mean, if you think about it from MbL's point of view, his perspective, it makes sense to attack this side. It is the most open side to his base, but TaToH was quick to wall, and even though he eventually got through the walls, he just had the tower, he was able to defend, and with that, he basically won the game. So GG, and TaToH is going to get game number 7, making the series 4-3. This is a best of 9 though, so there is at least one more game coming up. There could be 2. If TaToH wins the next one, that'll be the end of the series. If MbL wins the next one, it'll draw right back up again at 4-4. But I'm going to be nasty to you guys and